Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and as you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about Carlos King's most recent Messy Monday show. I was waiting for this commentary because he has been reviewing the latest season, Sweet 16, for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we have all known for months that Kenya Moore was suspended from this current season's Sweet 16 because of alleged revenge P of her cast member and newbie, Brit Eady. So I was waiting for how he would address this matter. So there's a couple of sound bites that I do want to give my commentary on, including, as you can see from the title of this video, apparently he does not know the definition of revenge P because he does not know the law. But, sir, you are definitely familiar with this topic as it was an entire storyline on the show Love and Marriage Huntsville. So before we get into it all, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. And of course, everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed. So this first soundbite, he is actually going to say how what Kenya Moore did was wrong. Now, for raindrops or people who do not watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, they could be wondering, well, why is that a big deal? Of course, what she did was wrong. The whole point of it is that it took him all the way to the reunion to even remotely say that Martell allegedly threatening the mother of his children, Melody Cherie, with revenge P was wrong. And people kept wondering what was his opinion? Why doesn't he speak out about it? And he would always say on his platform that he can't really give a lot of commentary on his shows until, after the episodes have aired, after the season is over. That's also his defense when people say to him, you have so much to say about other reality TV shows, but you do not apply any of the feedback that people give to your shows, or you don't give a lot of commentary on your own shows. So he is actually going to explicitly say that, what Kenya did was wrong. So I just wanted to definitely explore that. So I'm going to go ahead and play this first soundbite and then come back with my commentary.
Looking at Kenya's event, a lot of the comments are saying this, that it's a shame that it happened at her event due to the celebratory nature of what the accomplishment means. You said it. Claudia said it. I've said it. There's nobody saying what Kenya did was right. We all collectively have said it last week, and we'll say it again this week, and I'll say it. What Kenya did was not okay. Right. It was wrong. It was unfortunate, right? Two wrongs do not make a right. I said what Brit said is wrong. What Kenya did.
That was a commercial break, just a heads up.
Taxes was wrong. Two wrongs do not make a right. I wish Kenya would have given her a read that would have, like Claudia said, solidified the force multiplier that she is, right? In a perfect world, I think that should have taken place. Kenya Moore herself has said on Tamron Hall that she was wrong. I don't see why people, listen, if the person who did it is saying, I was wrong and I should have done something better, I don't think it's bad for anyone else to be like, we agree with you. It was a bad thing to do. Based on what occurred and based on what led up to it, it's evident that when it comes to Kenya's place on the show, she is somebody that is irreplaceable. When it comes to what the network decided to do, I tell people this all the time. No one believes me because it is what it is. The dismissal of anybody is at the hands of the network. We don't have Carlos King, producers, production companies. We don't have a say or the power to hire or fire anybody. Everything is at the hand. We can give our opinion with anything, right? Claudia, I said this story before. I fought for Claudia. I'm like, I want her in the ultimately it's not my decision. Do you know what I mean? But I can have a point of view because I'm respected in this game. But at the end of the day, the network, and they said it on the title card, it didn't say the production company, it didn't name producers. It said the network decided to not move forward with continuing the filming with Kenya. It was their decision. I don't have a say in it. That's how the business does work. And you guys are seeing that again. What I say is true. But anyways, when it comes to, I want to ask the two of you this. When it comes to Kenya's actions, listen, let's have a real conversation. Based on what I've seen on social media, it is split. 50% think she deserved to be removed of her duties. There's 50% who believe she shouldn't have been. Where do the two of you lie within that? Do you think that should have been the case?
Ladies first, my love.
Okay, so I wanted you all to hear the question that he asked at the end, because he does explicitly ask Claudia and Dustin, do you think that Kenya should have been removed from the show? I noticed with some of those really pointed questions, Carlos didn't really answer them himself in black and white. He kind of asked the questions that he figured people would want to hear their commentary on, but he himself did not say it. Probably because he knows, because he is familiar with Revenge P. It was a whole storyline on the #1 reality show on the OWN network, Love and Marriage Huntsville. And so he doesn't want to look like a hypocrite if he were to say something like, no, if someone commits Revenge P, or, if they were to make poster boards of someone giving oral favors and show them to the public, no, they should not be brought back to the show. He doesn't want to be called to the carpet for not removing Martell Holt from Love and Marriage Huntsville after he allegedly sent a threat to Melody with an image of an act as well. So he kind of put those questions out there to appear like they are having, as he always says, a real conversation, but then he leaves it up to Claudia and Dustin to mostly guide and give their commentary on this subject. Now, he explicitly says that Kenya Moore is wrong. He is not waiting until all of the episodes of this season airs. He's not waiting until the reunion wraps up. I know that this is not one of his shows that his production company is producing, but he is saying this early on, 5 episodes in, that she was wrong. Now, Dustin and Claudia, they were teasing that Carlos may have done another interview with Kenya Moore after this entire situation. We'll have to see if that is the case. I just hope that if that is true, if Kenya is doing interviews, that she's not being too like pow pows ablazing at the network. Because I just look at her as like she has Brooklyn, she has a child to think of, she is divorced, and even the ex-husband, I don't think he's in this super comfortable financial position where she can really rely on him. So I just think to myself, like, she probably still needs the income from Bravo, even if it is to try and sell the hair spa just to break even. And then she can make that money back from being on ROA, so that she can just make sure that she and Brooklyn are set up for life, especially we have to, I feel like women especially, you have to think about in the event that you are single and there's no dual income, Brooklyn doesn't have any other siblings. It is really about setting everything up for her. So I just hope if she does interview with Carlos or anyone else, that her energy is very mild, just because this is a very serious thing that she did do. I know that it was in response to Brit, but I want her to be able to be in a position where she can return to the show. But I just wanted to point that out, that he did explicitly say that Kenya was wrong. Now, I do want to also talk about them talking about the cast not liking it, because we know that the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville, they did not really stand up for what's right and say that the Revenge P threats is wrong until the Field Day debacle and T-Show went on Carlos King's Messy Monday show. So I want to get into that. And your girl is frugal. So yes, I do have the commercials on YouTube. So I am queuing it up so that we can listen to this next soundbite. Please hit the like button. Thank you oh so much. Just a few more seconds here and then we should be all good. Okay, so I do want to make sure that we have it right at the right spot. Okay, so I'm gonna hit play now. Okay. All right, thank you all so much. And here we go.
They all decided to leave, and Cynthia stayed back. And I want to get into Cynthia because she's not only a friend of mine, she's a friend of y'all too.
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia was the only person who came up to Kenya and said, "Baby, that ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're better than this. I love you. I'll call you tomorrow." But what did y'all think about the girls' reactions to this?
They were right. They were right. You know, it's good to have friends that are ride or die, but are they really your friend if they don't tell you when you're wrong? You know what I mean? And it wasn't a good look for Kenya, and we know she can do so much better. I will say, on a technical part of this, as far as the whole revenge porn, is it true that those images were images that were already online in a movie that Brit made? Is that true?
That's all alleged. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. And I'm being very honest. I am a journalist. Hey, Portia. I am a journalist. I am not spending my time looking for, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, what's wrong is wrong. But I don't. Carlos King, I have no idea.
I always try to think about what was in someone's mind, because Kenya's smart, right? So to like just find some pictures that were private to post them, I don't think she'd be dumb enough to do that. I think from what I've been hearing, I could be wrong, those were images that were on the internet already and she blew them up. And I'm thinking that's why maybe she thought, well, they're already out there. I'm not really committing that crime, but it's not being viewed like that. It's being viewed as it is revenge porn.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's one of those things where there's so many definitions. I'm not a lawyer.
Right.
I don't have Esquire behind my last name. There's things that we all are discovering. It's like, oh, that's illegal. That's legal. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know the definition, but I do want to say this. I always go back to what we saw.
Yeah.
The network did not say the RP word in terms of her dismissal. Mm-hmm. They didn't say that, right? The network, from my understanding as of today at 8:51 Eastern Standard Time, have not used that word as a cause for her dismissal. So and I'm not saying it is it. I'm not saying it isn't it. All I'm saying is, based on what we saw as viewers, those words have not been used.
No.
Does it make a difference? Does it make a difference? And I'm asking you to your opinion on this. If these are images that Brit already had online as a cam girl, like if she was doing web porn stuff, and they were out there, and Kenya made copies of them to embarrass her, that's not revenge porn? Is that revenge porn? Do y'all know?
I don't know the law.
I'm unclear with the law.
You may not know the law, Carlos, but you could say, well, over on my show, Love and Marriage Huntsville, we just dealt with this. And because Claudia, if you watched the last season of ROA, season 15, it was Kenya who actually brought up the fact that one of my cast members, Martell, allegedly threatened his ex-wife with revenge P. So I'm not a lawyer and I don't know all these things, but what I do know is that you can get arrested for it if you send an image of someone in the act and you threaten to post it on Instagram. Carlos, you could have said that. But to just like act like it wasn't a whole storyline on the show, that's just so bizarre. And so I've been waiting all these months, like when he gets to it, when he gets to this situation between Kenya and Brit, how is he going to land this plane? You know, is he going to keep it a buck and say, well, over on my show, da 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 da, and land smooth? Or is he going to crash? You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to point that out, you know, that he said he was not a lawyer. He doesn't want to be able to relate it, I guess, to Love and Marriage Huntsville at all, or he does not want to have to input the true, straight up familiarity that he has with it. He doesn't want to go there at all. So we get it that you're not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer either, but I am familiar with the storyline behind it. And I just want to say that this is just my opinion because I'm not a lawyer either, but I think it's the revenge piece. It's the word revenge. Like nobody is going around making poster boards of someone giving oral favors as like how you would blow up pictures at a wedding reception of the couple. Like nobody is doing that. So you're doing that to be malicious, to embarrass someone for revenge because they've made you mad. That's what makes it revenge P. I was listening to Kempire while I was working today, and he was saying, what if Kenya never got the poster boards done? What if she just posed the question or said, you know, I got receipts, or I've been told that Brit, you know, used to be a webcam girl, and you know she was doing X, Y, and Z allegedly. Now I have to say, whatever image Kenya had of the alleged oral favors, that's different from being a webcam girl, because I thought like it's just you. But or perhaps I guess her clients watched her, they will watch her do things with somebody else, allegedly, I guess. But it's the whole revenge part. It's the trying to embarrass the person, trying to degrade them because they've made you mad or for whatever reason. The word revenge, that is what's bad about it. So it doesn't matter if Brit was doing it as a webcam girl, if that was her job, if that was how she earned her money to keep a roof over her head, and you know her webcam videos are over on the Hub or other P sites. That doesn't matter. It's the fact that you are printing it up and distributing it to embarrass her for revenge. That's what makes it bad. But I just wanted to share with you all my thoughts about him. I feel like Carlos doesn't want to have to be able to say, you know, I'm not a lawyer, but over on my show, you know, just keeping it a buck, or or as he always says, having a real conversation. But what did you all think about their conversation and him asking pointed questions, really leaving it up to Dustin and Claudia to kind of give the majority of the commentary? What did you think about him saying that he doesn't know the definition of revenge P, but it was an entire storyline on Love and Marriage Huntsville? I thank you all so much for checking out this video. And I also wanted to make one other point. When he started out asking them about the cast not liking it. That is amazing considering, you know, when they talked about the Revenge P at the reunion on LAMH, go around and ask everyone their thoughts about the threat that Martell allegedly made against Melody. Ask them their thoughts, you know, and the most that was done was Tisha on his show. And it was because Tisha was on some get back because Martell had been talking so humiliating about her and her body count and her past, you know, rendezvous, if you will. So she was on some get back, and then it finally appeared as if, like, oh yes, we knew about it, and it was wrong, and he even has tapes of coleslaw. But it took Martell having to degrade her. She had to get some of that energy in order to reciprocate. So it's just so interesting when he is giving commentary on other shows. It is like he's more human, more empathetic. But for his own, so many of the on-air talent, they have to say things like, well, Carlos, I felt unprotected, or they quit live on his broadcast. It's just like a totally different person who is the producer of his own shows. But again, I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video, as it is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to Shows, Style, and Spirit if you have not already done so. I hope that you all had a magnificent Monday. I hope that it was not a manic Monday. I was relieved that work was over. I did afterwards. I got a massage. The chiropractic office, it's also a wellness center, so you can get massages. And I got one for an hour with the hot stones, and it was amazing. And I feel great. Like, what's amazing about getting adjustments? I got an adjustment as well, and then I got the massage right after. But like the adjustments, it seems to help you just breathe so easy. And I don't know, but I have been feeling great. And so if you can treat yourself, and even I feel like an adjustment is treating yourself as well. But I am no doctor, of course, and this is not medical advice. But I hope that you all have a great day tomorrow. We are going to have a terrific Tuesday, and I will talk with you then. Bye.